What's up, YouTube? Today we got another video for you guys today. Again, I'm pumping these bad boys out. Can you become Iron Man with $1 billion? I don't know. Let's find out.
You just inherited $1 billion. There are over 3,000 billionaires in the world, and not a single one is Iron Man. I wanted to see if I could become the Armored Avenger. So I'm taking
I
that
have
$1
that
billion.
same poster, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I have this same poster. Low key, nah. I was gonna take a picture. I'm gonna take a picture and show you. Don't mind the. Hold on. I don't know if you guys can see. I have that same poster in my room. That is crazy.
I could become the Armored Avenger. So I'm taking that $1 billion and going on the ultimate shopping spree. We're going to be building or buying everything from the suits, to the house, to the space station, and more. Can it be done? Let's find out. First, let's start with Iron Man's real estate, because we need somewhere to build the suit. While the features of Iron Man's mansion aren't available, we can look up some real-life examples to help us find a reasonable price. First, we can look at the Razor home in La Jolla, California. This home was based on Tony's mansion from the MCU films. The 11,545 square foot layout features 6 bedrooms and 6.5 bathrooms. The home features amenities such as dual ocean view master suites, an expansive rooftop terrace, and an infinity pool, in addition to a tunnel that connects the main property to a private 4-car garage. This could all be yours for the current estimate of $26.5 million. Well, I would be super happy with that. I still feel it's too small for Iron Man. Only 4 cars? Come on. So let's take a look at something a little bigger. I'm talking about something purchased by Mark Zuckerberg just last week at the time of this posting. The mega mansion Zuck purchased on the Billionaire Bunker Island in Florida boasts a modest 30,000 square feet, 9.
I mean, Billionaire Bunker Island. I mean, bro, you know what? $1 billion is so much money, though. What would you do with $1 billion? I wouldn't even know, bro. $1 billion is a lot of money. Like, that's crazy. A Billionaire Bunker Island. Oh man, I don't even know what to do with all that money, man.
Bedrooms and 11.5 bathrooms. In addition to that, the home includes 200 feet of direct water access and a 16-car garage, all for the cost of $170 million. Then, the Stark Tower in New York City was based on the Pan Am building in Midtown Manhattan, which is now known as the MetLife building. The current estimated value, along with the addition of Stark's tech and the iconic shape, brings the total cost of the building to $4 billion. So I guess the answer is no, you can't become Iron Man with $1 billion. But how much would it cost? To figure that out, let's first talk about the suits themselves. In the comics, movies, and TV shows, Tony Stark uses his company, Stark Industries, to facilitate building a suit. Stark Industries is primarily a defense contractor. Just like in my Batman video, I'm gonna say I don't have personal access to a company that was handed to me from my father. Instead, we're gonna have to pay top dollar from the world's best defense contractors, such as Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and others. Yeah, but at the core of the suit is the arc reactor.
Honestly, bro, you can't get a suit though. Like, if only that, if only you really could, but you can't. It's just unrealistic. You know what I mean? I wonder how. Damn, I wonder how he's gonna do this. To be honest, because it's like it's not like you can get a suit and have it form to your body and you can fly around at crazy speeds and have all these gadgets and techs pop out your shoulders, you know what I mean, and shoot beams of energy out your hands and chest. Damn, it sucks that you can't do some of these things. It's a good thing as well, because you never know, there would be some crazy people, but as you just said, 3,000 billionaires in the entire world, and there's like 8 million people in the world, by the way. So
arc reactor in the Iron Man movies is said to produce 3 gigajoules per second. For reference, that's enough to power over 2 million US homes for a year. A real-life example like the space shuttle produced 11.7 gigajoules on takeoff and carries 500,000 gallons of fuel to do so. Not all of that is fitting in a small body-sized suit. Yeah. The arc reactor would have to be made of a theoretical miniature nuclear reactor or a cold fusion core, both of which have not been invented yet, so the price tag...
You think these type of things are, like, these type of energy sources are real? Of course I'm not gonna say, of course, not on Earth. You know, but I think in these different planets, you know what I mean. I feel like on different planets, there's some type of energy crystal that can do this times five. You know what I mean? That's the type of thing. That's the type of stuff I think about, bro. There's something out there in the universe, of course, 100% on the planet, 10,000 billion%. There's something out there that can do that. You know what I mean? That can produce that much energy and that can fit in a. That's the size of a. That can fit in the size of my hand. You know what I mean? Or it's like the size of this. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be the size of this. Kaboom, and you're Iron Man. You know what I mean? There's definitely something out there. It's just either we haven't found it on Earth because it's probably not on Earth, or it's on a different planet, but we don't have the technology to go to different planets and drill, and sucks. Later in the future though, they're probably gonna find something like this. And I'm talking about way later, like on some Star Wars type timeline. You know what I mean?
Is unknown. However, we can look to ITER, the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor, for a semi-comparable price. This reactor is a collaboration of 35 countries to test the feasibility of nuclear fusion for future power generation, and costs a whopping $65 billion. For our arc reactor, we'll estimate $100 billion to build a similar reactor on a miniaturized scale. The suit itself in the Iron Man movie effortlessly multiplies Tony Stark's strength, allowing him to catch cars and punch through walls. A real-life example, like the Raytheon XOS-2, uses high-pressure hydraulics that allow the wearer to easily lift 200 pounds repeatedly without breaking a sweat. For a price tag of $10 million to develop, that's not too bad. For flight capabilities, we can then look to the Gravity Industries jet suit. The flight in the movie relies on sleek repulsor technology built into the palms and boots. A real-life example, like the Gravity jet suit, uses 5 miniature jet turbines strapped to the arms and back to achieve flight. The suit can reach speeds of over 30 miles per hour, and a single unit comes in at a price of around $440,000. A key piece I wanted to
Only that much for a jetpack, bro? They got some like, damn, that much for a jetpack. I've seen videos, YouTube videos of people flying. Or not even people, I'm guessing the person that made it, or pilots that can fly it. But I've seen YouTube videos of people flying it, bro. You only can fly straight up because, but that's fire. I mean, not like I can buy it, but damn, I would think of, damn. It's $500,000 though, so. Man, I'd have been bought one. If I had over $1 million, bro, I'd have been buying one of them. Man, what? I'd have been buying one of them bitches, man.
mention is that the Iron Man suit may actually be possible if we take away the limitation of it needing to be the size of the wearer.
Yeah,
even making the suit
true.
just a foot taller would give us a ton more space to add all this stuff and would still keep it looking human shaped.
Yeah, honestly, bro, if because that's the issue, right? With these Iron Man videos, or can the Iron Man suit be real? People make it to the size of, the wearer, the body. Nah, you don't have to do that, bro, to be honest. It could be like as big as damn near the Hulkbuster suit, or even bigger. Just, you gotta be able to control it.
I would think that a realistic Iron Man suit would look more like power armor from Fallout. With that
Way
in mind,
bigger.
we can then look to the B-2 stealth bomber from Northrop Grumman, used by the US Air Force, to get a decent realistic cost projection for the suit as a whole. The plane itself is close to the capabilities of Iron Man in terms of flight, speed, and importantly, its weapon systems. One B-2 bomber comes in at a price of $2.13 billion. This would likely be a reasonable estimate for one Iron Man suit in terms of purchasing the equipment I just mentioned and developing them into one suit. Multiply that by 50 Iron Man suits and you get the tiny cost of $106.5 billion. However, we couldn't do this all by ourselves, so let's find out how much it would cost for the people on our payroll. In the movies, Tony Stark is always shown tinkering alone in his basement. Movie magic makes it seem like one genius can invent, code, and build everything needed to build the suit by themselves. However, that's not realistic, and building the suit in real life would require putting together a research team of specialized engineers. Aerospace, mechanical, and weapons engineers easily make around $150,000 a year. If we put together a team of 50 top-tier engineers, the annual bill would come to $7.5 million. And we'll throw in another $16.5 million to account for the cutting-edge lab equipment that they'd need. An important part of Ironman's payroll has to be his legal, PR, and insurance teams. Unlike Batman, who has identity protection, which helps him get off the hook for damages he causes, Iron Man casually reveals his identity and then blows up city blocks without a second thought. As a private citizen, you'd absolutely get sued for the damages you caused. As such, you'd need a massive dedicated team of corporate lawyers and crisis management PR firms on retainer. This would likely run you a bill of $50,000 per hour, or about $104 million a year. A huge part of our expenses would then also be insurance. Insurance for our assets and all the damage we cause would likely be in the billions if you could even find a company that would cover us. As a rough estimate, we'll say $2 billion just for insurance. I'll then rapid fire off some other important personnel. The highest paid stylists in places like Malibu can charge up to $1,000 just for a style and haircut. If we get one every 4 days...
Really, bro?
Ready to start a hands-on career? At
that would roughly cost us $91,000 a year. Then, a private chef would cost around $120,000 a year. And last but not least would be the security detail. Tesla spent $2.8 million on Musk security in 2024. We'll account for the same amount.
Yeah.
We just have a few more bits and bobs to go over before we get to the final number. Starting off with Jarvis. ChatGPT 4 cost $74 million to create, with previous versions costing around $12 million to create. With 3 versions before GPT 4, we'll add that into the development cost, bringing our Jarvis total to $110 million. Iron Man then of course has his own satellite called the Stark Space Station in orbit. The International Space Station costs roughly $150 billion, including development and assembly. Given that Stark Space Station is about the same size, we'll add that number to the total. Last but not least, in the 2008 Iron Man film, Tony Stark flies on a heavily modified Boeing 737 business jet, which is customized with Stark Industries branding. A real-world Boeing 737 BBJ can cost at least $100 million, with operating costs ranging in the thousands per hour. Thus, with everything I've mentioned so far, that brings our grand total to become Iron Man to $363,011,011,000. It's safe to say that becoming Iron Man would be impossible for any one individual. I guess you can say there's a heavy emphasis on the billionaire part in Iron Man's famous quote.
Man.
Take that off. What are you?
I mean, they make trillions, though.
Playboy philanthropist.
You know what I mean?
Let me know if you think I missed anything in the comments. And since I don't have a multi-billion Stark Industries defense contract funding my own R&D, I have to rely on private investors to keep my channel running. That's where Patreon comes in. If you enjoy these deep dives...
I wonder how many millionaires there are. Or billionaire. Oh wait, he already put who has the most billions actually? I'll put it right now. Okay. Elon Musk. And how much is it to I'll just do that actually. How much did he say? Oh well. It looks like Elon Musk might be able to do it. Damn. Elon Musk is rich as hell. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think Elon Musk is the closest one we got to it. And maybe this guy too, Larry Page. Maybe. Damn, Elon Musk is rich as hell. Hey man. Elon Musk is the closest we got to Iron Man. That's it. That's the end of the video.